It has now been 10 days since the government has been shut down and still no end in sight. Democrats won't budge unless there's an agreement on additional health care policies. And Speaker Mike Johnson canceled scheduled votes for next week in the House to apply more pressure to the Senate.
Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp has the very latest tonight.
After another week of failing to reach an agreement to reopen the government, the Senate will pick things back up when they return on Tuesday.
We've lost all sense of common sense. I mean, we're in the middle of the Schumer shutdown.
Senator Dave McCormick says regardless of which party is in power, it doesn't make sense to shut down the government.
I think it's bad policy. I think it's bad for the American people and bad for those federal workers that aren't receiving a paycheck and those military service members who are putting their life on the line and who aren't going to get a pay beginning on October 15th.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says the White House is not negotiating with Democrats to reach a deal.
Our men and women in uniform and hardworking federal employees are working without pay. Donald Trump can find the time to play golf, but he can't be bothered negotiating a bipartisan agreement to reopen the government and address the health care crisis that they've created.
There's been some talk on the Hill about Speaker Johnson bringing back the House in session to pass a standalone bill to pay service members. But going into next week, the House will still be out of session. Johnson hopes to use this as pressure on Senate Democrats to pass the short-term continuing resolution. As the shutdown is set to continue into next week, we asked Representative Jack Bergman about the blame game being played in Washington.
Well, was the arguing in middle school really constructive? It was hormonally driven when you were 14 years old. Unfortunately, some of that middle school-like activity is occurring right now because, not to be Democrat versus Republican, but Republicans in the House did our job. We're just kind of sitting here in the House saying, well, Senate, do your job and reopen the government.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp, Erie News Now.